Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be tackling a common issue with this HVAC system. The fan motor will not turn off. As you see, the thermostat is in the off position, but you can still hear the fan running. First things first is safety. Let's turn the power off before we start to work. Next thing we're going to do is pull this disconnect. We're going to remove these 4 screws that hold this top panel on so that we can access the fan and the housing. I'm going to use a 5/16 nut driver on the end of my drill here. Okay, now that we have the panel off, you can see the fan motor there, and it's being held in by these 4 screws here at that top bracket, and also the wiring. So we're going to remove these screws. That wire there is connected to that last screw for the ground. Also, don't forget, we're going to remove these wires as well. They just plug in, so you can just pull them out, wiggle a little bit, and that will help. I'm also going to pop this zip tie that's holding these wires onto the fan bracket. Okay, now we can remove this fan motor. You just pull to slide it out. Okay, so a few things you're going to need here to remove the old fan is a socket set, a drill, some lubricant if you have some, and of course the new fan. Here's the fan that I'm replacing. It's a Evergreen Gentech 1/3 horsepower fan motor. You can get this off Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description of the video. What I did here too is I took a small piece of sandpaper to sand the end of that fan motor shaft there down a little bit. That's going to help get it to remove a little bit easier. Also spray it with the lubricant. The next thing you want to do is take some pliers or a crescent wrench to this nut here on the side. It holds the squirrel cage onto the shaft of the fan motor. Now we're going to flip it on the other side, and you can see the bracket that holds this fan motor on there. It has 3 bolts that hold it in to the housing here. We're going to remove those. Okay, now I got the fan motor pulled out. As you can see, that shaft was pretty rusty. And the next thing we're going to do is remove this bracket off the old fan motor. You're going to need like a socket set and a pair of pliers to do that. You'll see you have a nut here. One you need to hold on to with a pair of pliers, the other one use your socket wrench to unscrew it. You don't have to unscrew it all the way. Probably, I don't know, about an inch or so that you can slide that bracket off the old fan. Okay, now that we got this old one off, we're going to take the new fan motor and just reverse those steps. We're going to take this bracket and slide it over top of the new fan motor. And then you want to put those legs and position those back on there as well. Keep in mind that you want to position the bracket in the same general area where it was on the old fan motor. You see how I have the bracket slightly above the center of the fan motor? Keep it generally in that space because that's how it was on the old one. If you were to position it further down, more into the center or below, you may not be able to get the wire harness onto it as you go to install it. Now we're just going to reposition it back on, get our bolts threaded back in, and what I'm going to do here is just show you another option. This is normally how I do it, is just take this socket set for the drill and use that to tighten those down. I'm just using a regular drill here, but an impact would be better for this. The next thing you want to do is make sure that this squirrel cage is positioned in the center so you can kind of slide it out back and forth on that motor shaft. Get it right to where it's not, you don't want to hear any rubbing or metal grinding, obviously, so position it in the proper place and then tighten that nut back. Alright, so now that we have our fan installed back into the housing, we're going to reinstall it into the air handler. As you see, there's these guides or tracks that you'll slide this fan housing back into. Okay, so now we have the fan and housing pressed back into the air handler. The next thing to do is connect the wire harness and re-screw it back in. Be sure to put your wires in the same position they were on the old fan. If you forgot, you can always look at the diagram there on the front of the fan, or it should be somewhere on the panel of your air handler or furnace. Okay, so now we're going to get the panel put back on, get the screws in it put back in, and the disconnect that's at the top there, we'll plug that back in. And of course, don't forget to turn your breaker back on or nothing's going to work. And we should be good to go. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks again for watching. See you on the next video.